Hi everyone, just a quick one today. I sound like my boss when he called. Well, first of all, hi, sorry. I made this video. I was in the process of making this video. I don't know what's happening to me right now. I'm a bit like scattered and all over the place, and like I keep forgetting what I'm saying, and I'm going off track, and it seems like really good, and I was having a good time, and I was like, oh, cute, and chaos, and now I'm like a little bit stressed that I'm kind of all over the place, but I only really have this time to make the video, and yeah, I'm gonna speedrun it. So I'm restarting. I'm so sorry. So if, like, you don't know anything of what I've said, so it's a bit like I need to backtrack and think about it. But some speedy, quick updates. One, Dylan is working away, which is something I'll talk about in another video, to be honest, because like it's an ongoing thing, and he's gonna be working away for the next 2 months, and so it's just me. So that's really cool, actually. She's struggling. She is struggling. He just left because like he's gonna come down and visit when he can, like on his days off, and I'm gonna go up there and visit when I can on my days off. We'll see each other like once a week, so I won't see him for another 7 days. Hopefully once a week, like that's if it's a good week, but like we'll try, we'll make it work because we love each other. So that's that. Anyways, that's a separate video. I went to the doctor's yesterday, the long-awaited doctor's appointment. Now, the reason why I booked this doctor's appointment was because I think last year, and I'll have to like wrap this up really quick because I also have to do something. Last year I was like living my life, and it was such a good life. I had my vision board. It was like the most productive, awesome, fucking beautiful. I don't know how to explain it, but like I was like, you know what? I am like on top of my shit. I lost weight. I achieved a lot of my goals that I wanted to achieve. I got promoted. Last year, what did I do? Oh, I dropped out of uni as well. Anyway, I did so many things, and like felt like I was getting my life together, and like I want to get my life together. I'm very much a self-improvement, want to be like that girl sort of person, which makes no sense because of how I look right now. Not all the time, but it's just cozy, comfy vibes after some days off. So anyway, that's what I mean, like all over the place. So there are some things that I realized, like I think last year there was two things, sorry, that were like so big and so prevalent in my life, and I could tell was like negatively impacting it. And one was, I don't have any balance. I don't know how to find balance in anything I do. I am either this extreme or this extreme. Like it is one thing or the other. And it's like that for so many things. It's like that for my moods, I feel like sometimes. It's like that for like if I drink, I'm either sober or I'm shit-faced. If I gamble, it's like all in or all out. Like I don't like doing little increments. I hate that. If I'm on a diet, I don't want to do it healthy. I want to do it fucking off fast for 21 days. I don't care. Like I just like two extremes, right? I don't know why. Like I need quick, fast, quick, fast, quick, fast. Another thing I was struggling with is escapism, but that's something I won't really talk about too much. Perfectionism, which I hate. Like I don't want to say I'm a perfectionist, and I never really thought of myself as one. But like so many people now recently that I've started talking about it, they're like, oh yeah, like that sounds like perfectionism. I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like it does, but it doesn't. Like if I like do something and, well, for example, for uni, and this is what I gave like the example to my doctor, if I didn't hand up an assignment because of like whatever reason, most of the time it was probably because like it just wasn't good enough. Like it's really hard for me to hand up like a not good enough assignment. Like it needs to be really good. Yeah, and like let's say it's like week 3 and I miss like the first assignment, I cannot do the rest of the course. I can't. As in like in my head, I have already let down the course. I've already let people down. I have already fucked up. I've already made a mistake. I've tainted it, and now it's done. When you start uni and you're like, I'm gonna make like a study plan and love it, love getting into that and like making organization things and whatever. And if I don't follow through with it, I'm like, cool, well, I'm never gonna touch it again. If I'm like tracking like for example, my food for the day, and I forget to log like one thing or whatever, now it's so hard because I just fall off the cycle. The one time I make a mistake, like it's really hard for me to stay disciplined and consistent because of like my all or nothing, has to be perfect attitude. And I know that, and I hate that, and I don't, like, I need to be, my goals for this year were to be more disciplined and more consistent. And I'm actually over it. And there's like a plethora of other goals that I also had, based off of problems I feel like I had. So, this is my chai latte, by the way. I showed you my last video, and now it's like half gone because I was like, I just need to restart. But yum, she's lukewarm too. Anyway, so there's just so many things, and we're not talking like traits that are like, oh, I don't like the way that I'm not adventurous, or, you know, it's not like that. It's like genuine, like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, there's a difference between like, I don't like the way that I don't put enough time into this, like, and I don't know what the fuck, there's like something physically stopping me from doing things. Like, it's really fucking frustrating. It's so frustrating. So, I talked to ChatGPT because I think it is like one of the best things to ever happen to the universe. It's also probably one of the worst things because won't go into it, but I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, I know I have something wrong. I know it's something wrong. Like, there is something wrong with me. Please, I need help. Like, what is it? And it's like, you've got nothing wrong with you. Have you maybe thought that it could be this, or this? And like, I basically made it give me a test, and I was like, look, if you had to give me something, like, just tell me like what is wrong with me, what would you say? Came back with 2 options, which I kind of thought myself, maybe you should check for bipolar. And I'm like, oh, good. That's awesome, actually. I don't like that one. And then the other one was, maybe you have ADHD. And I was like, well, yeah, no worries, because I don't feel like someone bouncing off the walls all the time. Like, it didn't make sense. And then I looked more into it. I think last year at some point, maybe middle of last year, it was July last year, because I booked the appointment. And I said, I think, like, it was to a different doctor, and I'm sorry, she was the worst. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, so rude. So I think I might have like ADHD or something else. Like, I think I have something wrong with me, and like, I find it really hard to like function. And she basically rolled her eyes, gave me a blood test, and was like, sure, if you think you have ADHD, you probably don't. So I was like, oh, good. That's wonderful, actually. And then I just didn't get the blood test on because I had already had a blood test like before that, and it came back fine. I was like, it's not my bloods, man. Like, we've already fucking talked about it. So I just didn't go back through her. I left it. And then towards the end of last year and now the beginning of this year, I was like, what is wrong with me? I'm spiraling because I want to be the gym baddie. I want to go to the gym. I want to like stick to my diet. I want to go out and be active. I want to be inspirational. I want to like be this person. I need to be doing something at all times, but I fucking can't. Like, I'm getting a bit like passionate. And I think because I've been so upset and like depressed and just sad for like the past like while, now it's just like, it's coming out in like an anger almost like sort of way. It is so frustrating to like just feel like I just can't do anything. Like, I hate myself, like, because I can't, like, I feel like a lazy fucking piece of shit because I can't do anything. And it's not like the fact that like, no, I just don't want to do it. I mean, that, yes, I don't want to do it. But even like, oh my fucking God, I was reading back through my old diary entries, apologies for the swearing, everyone, from 2023. At the time I was like, there was a period of time where I was unemployed and I was studying at uni full time because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to study finish my degree, and it's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to do it quicker. And I was like, I'm going to be broke as fuck somehow for a while. I'm going to pile all my savings. Didn't work. I have to live. Sorry, I had to get a job again. Didn't work out, but whatever. And I was like, I fucking loved it. I romanticized studying, and I like studying. And I'm good at the work, man. Like, anyone that knows me and went to school with me, please, someone advocate for me in the comments. I'm smart. I was winning awards. Like, it was just so naturally gifted. Like, she's gonna fucking graduate early sort of shit. And now I like sit down and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And like, I need to have like blocks. Like, I will do nothing and nothing and nothing and nothing and nothing because I can't concentrate, I can't focus, I won't do it, and I'll be thinking about too many things, and then I'll smash it all out in one fucking day. I'll stay up all night and do one assignment in like 12 hours, and it'll be a good assignment. It'll be like, oh, good, boom. And that's just how I did it. That's how I went through my life. That's how I went through high school. It's how I went through uni when I was doing it. It's like, I wouldn't do anything for so long because I can't stay consistent, and I can't just like study and make myself study. Like, I would wait until I get this impulse. Oh my God, man. Now it's just like, how the fuck did I like all this shit? I don't know how I didn't like recognize these things sooner. Like, I don't know why I didn't think like, maybe you have ADHD. Like, I think it's embarrassing, and I think it's really difficult to like say, hey, I think I have this, because I don't want to be like, I don't want to be the stereotypical, oh, I have something wrong with me person. I don't want to be that fucking person. I want to be normal. I want to be good, and I want to be happy and great and fine. And I really don't want to be perceived as someone that has to have something wrong with them. Hate that. And someone told me that once, like, oh, I think maybe you just like think you have to have something wrong with you. Ugh. No. It's not the case. I want to be good. I want to be good. I want to be good and normal and fine, people. Oh my God. Anyway, broke my heart. I want to be good. Look, long story short, there were things, and I'm just like, fuck me. So I went to the doctors, and I have from the doctor's hall, I have some screening questionnaires, symptom checklist, and I have a referral to see a psychiatrist who's going to give me a diagnosis. I'm so excited. And the reason why I'm excited, oh, hang on, wait, I didn't even give you like the context. Sorry. Went to the doctors, and when I booked the appointment, I wasn't booking for ADHD. I was booking for, there's something fucking wrong with me, get me help. Like, I was like, I need help. Like, I'm just struggling. Like, I'm struggling to stay afloat. I can't function, and I feel like I'm drowning in life, and I actually just don't even want to be here. So, help. Like, help. This is a cry for help. I fucking hate it. Help. So, that was my doctor's appointment, like, booking. That was the whole reason for me booking. And then as I was reading into the person that I was seeing, Dr. Such and Such, you can't see me, but I'm doing this one. Dr. Such and Such is a GP and blah, 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 and also has a special interest in adults with ADHD. And I was like, oh, that's so funny, because like ChatGPT also kind of said like I might have ADHD. So then I looked into it again, and I re-looked into it, and I took myself seriously. And I was like, Tani, serious, like, let's be for real right now. And I made ChatGPT give me like a questionnaire thing, and I was like, seriously, be honest, like, and be brutal actually. Do you think I might have ADHD? Like, and I'm not like trying to sound a certain way. I just want to like, I don't want it. And I don't know why I feel like I have to keep saying that. I just feel like there's like, you know, there's people that they just make it their whole fucking personality. I don't want that, and I don't want to be that person. So I think people know that. Like, realistically, if I was outside myself and I looked at myself, I don't think I would perceive myself as that person. I don't think I would. So, Tani, stop justifying everything. It'll be okay. I forgot what I was saying. I was having this issue when I was making my last video. I would just like fucking forget, and I'm just having like a manic episode or something. Not a manic episode, but just a bit too like go. Yeah, I don't know. I am kind of having one. Oh, everything's going like just. But all this makes sense to me now, and like I'm looking at everything from a different perspective of like, I did my screening checklist and everything, and I went to my doctor and I said, hey, these are my symptoms, and she's like, do you think you have ADHD? And I like just started crying, and I was like, I think I might. Like, I think I might. And I don't, yeah, again, I told her, I was like, I don't want to self-diagnose. Like, I didn't come here to say that I think I might have it. I came here to ask for help. And now that, like, and I explained it to her, I was like, and I think I might. Like, and it's good because we have a long history together. She helped me so much, like long history. She's an amazing doctor, and I literally can't see anyone else. Like, it was so good seeing her again. She helped me through heaps, and she helps get me like out, to be honest, of like my situations, and I literally love her. Like, I actually love her. So she said, and she actually says it in my referral. Look, I'm gonna read this because this makes me feel so good, and like, people love me. Tani, stop thinking everyone hates you. Thank you for seeing Tani for a mental health assessment for ADHD. Tani, oh, I'm gonna frame this on my fucking wall. Tani is a highly intelligent young woman who is currently working in a managerial position at blank. Tani has quite significant childhood trauma history, but she is currently doing really well in the context of a supportive relationship. She is not suicidal. Yay! And then basically says like my allergies, current medications, past medical history, and basically saying like she just needs a diagnosis, and she is happy to like manage me and like help me, but like she needs the official diagnosis. And if you could include wording in your report to the effect that, for example, you are comfortable supporting trials of, and then all the drug names. So I had like a mini like breakdown because like I think it's really frustrating not being able to do things. And I think for once when she took me seriously and she's like, do you think you might have it? And I was like, I think I do, and whatever. She's like, I trust you. Like, you are smart. If you think you might, chances are you probably do. And obviously, like, she's not just going, okay, well, you do. Bang. She specializes in it. Well, not specializes, but it's her, I don't know what she's doing at the moment, I think. And we gave, like, I did a, people know my last name. I just fucking hate it. Lol. We did, like, a checklist together. Very good. We did like a questionnaire to make sure it wasn't cardiovascular health and whatever. And then on it, she's given me a checklist, which is very good, except it's changed, and that's kind of stressing me out a little bit, to be honest. Oh man, but just the way that she was speaking to me, she was like, hey, look, if you lose it, take a photo of it. And I was like, that's so like considerate. I think because I'm being like viewed from a different lens, and like she's catering, like she knows, like somehow, I think because it's a thing, she knows better, like how I think better and how I act better, and now everything just makes sense, man. Like, feels like I've got fucking glasses on. Like, it just makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm like, oh my god, this makes sense. And it's like, it's not just like, oh, you've got this, and it's just like, I don't know, in your head. It's like an actual fucking chemical imbalance. And like, do you know how validating it is to know that like there's something, like there's a reason why, like it's not just you. Like, there's a reason. It just feels so fucking good. So I did my... Alright, so you got never, rarely, sometimes, often, and very often. So let me read this out. How often do you have trouble wrapping up the final details of a project once the challenging parts have been done? Very often. How often do you have difficulty getting things in order? Hey? How often do you have difficulty getting things in order when you have to do a task that requires organization? I said often. Depends on what it is. Like, if I'm really interested in it, I'm hella good. But if I don't want to do it, then probably not. How often do you have problems remembering appointments or obligations? I did sometimes. I know that I have trouble. Like, I know. And so I use organization tools to help me. Like, I use my calendar, and that helps. And so I don't really have that issue. But if I didn't have my calendar, well, fuck me, I would. When you have a task that requires a lot of thought, how often do you avoid or delay getting started? I did often, because I like tasks that require thought if I like them. Again, if I like them. And I'm like, I always just thought I was a selfish bitch and didn't, like, I was like, well, you're just a bitch. Like, David Goggins, like, you're just a fat bitch. Like, but like, if I don't want to do something, I won't fucking do it, because there's no, and I realize now, because I'm not getting dopamine from it, because my brain is like, me hungry, I want dopamine. And if it's something I don't want to do, I'm like, oh, that no give me dopamine, let's find dopamine from somewhere else. And I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. Okay, next. How often do you fidget or squirm with your hands or feet when you have to sit down for a long time? I did sometimes. I should have put very often. I like think about so many fucking things. Like even as a kid, my God, being in the car and I'm like matching up my feet and like everything, and like, oh my God, I have to like. And then even as I was at the appointment, and I don't know why I said sometimes. I should have changed that. And then she was like literally talking to me about it, because I don't want to seem over the top. Like I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, very often. Like I wanted to be humble. I don't know why. Oh my God, I should have just whatever. How often do you feel overly active and compelled to do things like you are driven by a motor? And I did in between, rarely and sometimes, because I wasn't sure. I'm like, But then again, she explained things to me, and she's like, you know, when you're on a holiday, like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, she's like, what are you doing? And I realized last holiday I went on, like, my partner and like our friend, they just wanted to like relax sometimes, and I was like angry at them, and I feel really bad. And see, look, now I'm saying like this makes sense when you look at it through a different lens. And like they're just like, I want to do nothing. And look, sometimes I want to do nothing, but my doing nothing is also doing something. Like I need to be doing, like I get really frustrated and I'm like, no, let's go do this, or like hurry up, like pick something to do, and they're like, no, like we're just gonna chill. And I'm like, oh, like it made me really frustrated. And yeah, I do feel compelled to do things. Like you were driven by a motor, I feel like just didn't resonate with me, but it is, probably often. How often do you make careless mistakes when you have to work on a boring or difficult project? I did sometimes. I think I do make mistakes, but like I triple check, quadruple check. Although I do, like when I make rosters, I make mistakes all the fucking time, and I'm like, oh, and it's really frustrating. So I should have put often there too. How often do you have difficulty keeping your attention when you are doing boring and repetitive work? Very often. So if I don't like it, I can't. And then I just like resort to escapism because I don't want to be there. How often do you have difficulty concentrating on what people say to you, even when they are speaking to you directly? I actually thought at some point, because one of my friends is like, I think you're autistic. I'm like, oh, good. Yeah, cool. Another thing to worry about. That's sick, actually. Sometimes when people talk to me and we're in a direct conversation, I'm too concerned about like either reading them or how they're reading me that I forget to listen to what they're saying, and I feel so fucking bad. And I think I'm very good at like pretending like that's not happening. But like I'll be like, oh yeah, and I'll be more worried about my reactions and whether I'm having the appropriate reaction rather than what they're saying. Oh my God, that does sound autistic, but anyway, so I'm like, sometimes people talk to me and I've got no clue what they're saying. How often do you misplace or have difficulty finding things at home or at work? I did often. But I know, like, I'm so fucking messy, but I know where things are sometimes. But yeah. How often are you distracted by activity or noise around you? Very often. Very often. I get so distracted by literally anything in the fucking world. Like, it's so annoying. I'm like trying to study and like someone walks by and it's like their footsteps are annoying. When people scuff their feet on the floor, when they drag their feet, that's fucking annoying and I hate it. Oh my God. How often do you leave your seat in meetings or other situations in which you are expected to remain seated? And I said rarely. And it's funny because like she was like, she looked at that and she asked me about it, because the things that she thinks that I was probably underestimating myself on, she kind of like re-asked me about it and reworded it, and I was like, yeah, okay. But she knows me and she knows I'm a little bit, not a people pleaser, but I'm very like, I think because of maybe my trauma and stuff, I don't know, I'm very like respectful, and like I don't want to piss people off, and I don't want to, draw attention to myself. So like I did rarely, because I'm not good at like in meetings or other situations, like I don't just want, see ya, like no, I'm not like that. Like, so then she wrote able to control the impulse to move, but I don't want to be there. I literally don't want to be there. I'm like, oh my God, can I do something else? Like, so frustrating. How often do you feel restless or fidgety? I said very often. How often do you have difficulty unwinding and relaxing when you have time to yourself? Very often. Fuck me. How often do you find yourself talking too much when you're in social situations? Often. When you're in a conversation, how often do you find yourself finishing the sentences of people you are talking to before they can finish it themselves? Oh man, I'm so bad at this sometimes. Often. And then I put originally sometimes to this next one, and then we changed it to very often because she reworded it, and I was like, oh my fucking yeah, that's right. How often do you have difficulty waiting your turn in situations where turn taking is required? Yeah, I put sometimes because I was like, oh, you know, whatever. And then she's like, you're lining up at a checkout and an old lady is like getting the money out of her purse. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. Yeah. There's like something else as well. And I'm like, yeah, I've got no patience. Like, it just pisses me off. I just go a bit quicker. Like, just be more respectful of other people's time. Oh, man, I thought I was a bitch, but maybe I still am probably. Last one is, how often do you interrupt others when they are busy? And I said rarely. And she was like, it was similar to like the meeting thing, and I don't know how she reworded it, but basically wrote, has impulse to interrupt but controls this impulse with effort, which is true. But I can control myself. I have a little bit of self-control, but I think because I like have to self-control in like so many things with so many situations with other people in it, I just realized I meant to call Dylan back, and I'm really sorry, Dylan. I'm taking a while because I control myself with so many other people. Like, I feel like self-control with myself, like I'm just like, I want to have freedom to do things because I have to, like, you know. I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah, that's me actually. So on my checklist, I have to get my bloods done and an ECG, which I've never done before, so that's pretty cool. And then I'm waiting for the psychiatric place to like contact me and make an appointment for like my analysis. It's gonna be like a telehealth thing, so I'm really excited about that. And then I did raise my concern because I think when I was a bit younger, like everyone had kind of brushed every problem I had under the whole like, yeah, but look what you've been through, like umbrella. Oh yeah, but like that's just because of the trauma. Oh yeah, but like I'm not over it, but like I am, like it's just not who I am anymore. And I'm only bringing it up because it's within context of I guess like some issues now. Like I want people to know that, like, I don't know, it is me, but it's not, like, it's not, I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes I do like have like episodes like but yeah, I was like, I just don't want people to like not take me seriously and just say like, oh, it's because like she saw this when she was younger and she went through this or whatever, because like these are now, and she like validated me so hard. I fucking love her. She's like, okay, that's like a different thing, and these things that I'm concerned about are your functioning behaviors. And I'm like, yes, thank you, I know the difference, I can feel the difference. It's hard to articulate the difference, but I know the difference myself between a functioning behavior problem and a trauma related thing. I know the difference, I can feel it, help me. And then after that, she'll give me a call about the blood tests. I've booked that in already, thank God. It's already booked in, so like I don't have to like worry about doing it, because like so many steps and I'll get caught up, and like I love it how they're going to contact me and I've already booked this in, and it's like, thanks everyone. Like I just feel really grateful. And then I will then have another like appointment, like a longer one, to start treatment trials, which is going to be medication. I am not pro or anti-medication. I am pro whatever the fuck works and whatever you want to do. I remember like when I was younger, I was on, I had to take antidepressants at one point, and I stayed with like my dad for a bit. Anyway, and he was like mad that I was on antidepressants because I was like young. I was like 14, I think. And then I was like, oh, I'm disappointing him. I'm not gonna take them. And like I was smart, and I knew at the time, I was like, man, like I need these for a reason. Like I'm not just popping these for fun. And it's not like an instant like pick me up. And also, how are you gonna judge me for being on like drugs basically? Girl, pot kettle pot and kettle, but like the pot and kettle are different, and you're a fucking boiling pot. Oh my god. I just don't get that. I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, you're an idiot. Like, yes, I get it. I'm young, but also, hello, you're old, so sort your shit out. Hello, sorry. Create a list of goals to bring to your appointments. I'm really excited about that. I have so many goals. Man, I'm fucking goals. Like, I've got goals coming out of my backside. Okay? I love goals. Fucking love it. But it's just the actual shit getting done that I can't do. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. And I feel good. And I'm happy to talk about it because it's like, I'm getting help, everyone. I don't know. Like, I just feel really good about it. So I'm excited, and guess what I get to do? Document it whenever I take. I'm 99% sure I'm gonna be taking medication. Obviously, it'll be talked about like once I get like the actual diagnosis and everything. And look, I might come back on here and I might be like, oh, I did the psychiatric evaluation and they thought I had this instead, and that's fine. It's not, again, like, I don't want ADHD. I think the whole thing is, it makes sense for me to look at it through the lens of like, hey, I have this, and then I feel better about myself and I don't hate myself as much. And then also, I'm getting help. Regardless of what the fuck it is, I'm getting treatment and I'm getting help. And I have a support system. And Dylan came to my appointment. Do you know how, like, meaningful that was to me? I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh, I've got an appointment that day. And then randomly on the day, I was like, did you want to, like, come with me? I just, like, I asked him, like, fully expecting him to say no. And to be honest, I asked him because my car doesn't have aircon and it's fucking hot. And it's a long drive. And, yeah, he's got a Tesla. So I was like, I'd rather be driven. And plus, like, we're not spending as much time together if I'm driving around and he's just... And, yeah, he was just like, yeah, cool, I'll come. I'm like, he came with me. Like, I don't know. That sounds like, oh, yeah, well, of course. But, like... Well, no, because it's his one, like, why would he just want to, like, sit in a fucking room? Like, boring. And then I went with him to his dentist appointment today because I wanted to show up for him as well. So, I don't know, that was so nice, and I'm just excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Anyway, speaking of Dylan, I'm going to go call him back because he called me. So, thank you so much for watching. Man, I hope my next video is like getting my diagnosis. I don't know. I don't know. This shit people probably don't really like care about or like find interesting, and like it makes sense because it's not it's more exciting for me to know, I guess, what's wrong with me. But also I hope it like inspires other people as well to be like, hey, reflect, be self-aware, and we can be better, and there is hope. So anyway, you know what? I also gained 2 subscribers somehow. What the fuck? I don't even know how cool is that? That's so random. I love everyone. Just wait till I'm depressed in like 5 minutes. No, I'm joking. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go. Okay, thank you so much. Mwah.